So we appreciate you guys coming out. We've got another session to this on August 5th. How many of you guys are already registered for that? Raise your hands. How many of you guys wish you registered? Say, oh yeah. All right, hopefully when it comes up on the screen, there'll be a QR code. You can get registered for it, but we'll be back here on August 5th. We've got an awesome panel. It's going to be talking about selling luxury and commercial, and I don't want to mess up and skip somebody, so I won't try to name the panelists right now, but we've got a bunch of really amazing people that sell a ton of luxury or commercial. They're all in the top 25 agents in the county, if I'm not mistaken. Today, we've got some amazing people that I'll introduce in a minute, but for those of you that, how many of you guys have been here to Masterclass before? Let's start with that. Raise your hands. Can we give them a round of applause? All right. How about those of you that have not been here before or here for your first time? Raise your hand. Could everybody make some noise for them? So basically, if you don't know us, we run a publication. We rank the top 300 agents in Brevard County. Now we rank the top 500, and we host private events. But what happened was many years ago, we realized people would be like, oh, that looked really cool on social media. Like that video looked really cool. How do I get an invite to the party? And we'd be like, sell more next year. High five. And it didn't feel good. So, but it's like, it's not my favorite 300 or my 500, it's like, I don't make the list. We just report on it. So we decided, instead of telling people like, just go sell more, and people would ask throughout the year, how am I doing? I'd be like, I don't know, but it depends where you end. So it really doesn't matter how you're doing. We decided to bring the top people to teach what they're doing without any ulterior motive. So that's the idea. Could y'all give a round of applause to everyone that came out today? And all the speakers. But so Real Producers is made up by about 50 advertising partners that they represent the best of the best in Brevard County. They're the people that the top 300 have actually referred and said, hey, this is my title person, this is my mortgage person, this is my home inspector or mover or whatever they do. And so the people that are about to speak, though, they not only support the Real Producers platform on a multi-year deal, they stepped up to make sure that we have a masterclass so you guys can learn from the best of the best. So can we give them one more round of applause and make sure that we give them each a minute to tell you who they are, what they do, and it's not a lot of time for them to explain everything, so make sure you follow them, shout them out, find their companies, find them after, whatever. Hopefully many of you will join us afterwards, because I'm going to be grabbing lunch with a whole bunch of people, I'm assuming, right here, Hotel Melby, so stick around if you can, grab some food with us, meet the vendors, meet the speakers, whoever wants to stay can stick around. Y'all ready to get this started? All right, sponsors, I'm going to just let you guys... it doesn't matter. We'll roll with these ones. I'm gonna let you guys just kind of line up here. If you guys want to jump around to the front, or literally walk around to the front, I should have said. Jump might not have been the right word. But I'll hand a few of these out, and we'll just kind of go down the road, take a minute. We'll just kind of go down the road, tell them who you are, what you do, and we'll roll from there. Y'all ready? Who wants to kick this off?
Hey everybody, I'm Jason Buckner with Brightway Insurance, Steve Trout Agency in Rockledge. We've been open 15 years. We specialize in all personal lines, home insurance, home, flood, auto, umbrella. Newest agent, Jaden Hitty, just started with us a month ago. We've been open 15 years. We have over 14,000 clients, and we thank you guys so much for trusting us over all these years, and we hope to continue that relationship going forward. Thank you.
What's up, y'all? It's Colton with Top Team Moving. Thank you. So we operate a lot on referrals, and we work with a lot of realtors. We don't invest a whole lot into Google ads. We don't dump a bunch of money in there like a lot of other moving companies do. We rely a lot on those referrals. And what we do to give back is free boxes. So if you know anyone who's moving, they probably need boxes, and we will bring them to them for free, no strings attached. I got a bundle right here. You can see what they look like. And then another thing that I just recently launched is, every time a new listing goes live, there's an option where you can sign up and then get an automatic text reminder of those 20 free boxes. And then you can do a quick reply, and then it'll automatically go to that client store or your office. So if you're interested in doing something like that, let me know.
Rotating or no? Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Kelly Reese with CDS Builders. We're a luxury 100% custom builder. We currently build on your customer's lot and in Aeropica at Viera. I could talk way longer than a minute, so what I'll do is invite you all out for a private golf cart tour of the community where I'll show you all around and you'll be well prepared for all your customers. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Patrick with Happy Palm Stays. We manage over 400 vacation rentals on the Space and Treasure Coasts. Show of hands if anyone received an email from me or my company yesterday called May Investment Roundup. Every single month, we get hundreds of calls from investors asking what the best income-producing properties are on the Space and Treasure Coasts. So we make custom rental projections for realtors and for their listings, and we try to hand leads on silver platters to realtors. But we have a lot of great information that could help you market your properties better. Come see us in the back. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashley with Inspiring Home Staging and Design. We offer vacant and occupied services, and you want to reach out to Jamie Norton to schedule any of that. And then I do all the design services that we provide. So if you want more information, we have a table in the back as well.
Hi, I'm Donna Harris with International Title and Title Solutions. We're located in Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island, and Titusville, and we handle all your real estate closing needs. So if you have a closing that you'd like to do, I'm your girl. Come see me. And I'm out front because I sponsored the coffee today because I know how important that is for all of us to get here early and have some coffee. Yay. But we do all kinds of real estate closings, commercial, residential, flips for investors, just anything you have, refinances. If you're a lender, we're happy to handle them for you. Thank you. Donna Harris.
I'm coming, Linda, I'm coming. Hello, everybody. I'm Sada with Double Scope Home Inspections. We are your one-stop shop for home inspections. We do it all from mold assessment, septic inspections, sewer scopes, all the things. I have a table over there if you have any questions. My husband and his brothers decided one day to open up this company, so that makes me the owner. I run the show. Just so everybody knows. Looking forward to talk to all of you.
Is this thing on? Okay. Hey guys, I am Danielle Sells and I'm your go-to at Landmark Title. We're located in downtown Melbourne. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary on the Space Coast, and this year actually makes 20 years that I have been involved in Brevard County real estate, so I'm a bit of a dinosaur. If you've been to one of these sessions before, you've heard me say it. Before I was a title agent, I was a realtor. And I've said it again. I'm going to keep saying it because I think it's important because I've been in your shoes. So I genuinely know what you guys need out of a title partner. And that's what I try to be for you guys is a partner. So whether that's net sheets, co-branding, complimentary mobile closings, title searches, you name it, that's what I'm here for. So if we don't know each other, please introduce yourself, grab my stuff from the back. And if we do know each other, let's reconnect and talk about how I can help you guys grow and succeed. So thank you. And really quick, I don't know where he went, but thank you to Aaron for putting all this together because it's always amazing and we always learn so much. So thank you.
All right. I guess I'm last. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rajan Ramdahal. I'm a Senior Vice President with Fluent Mortgage. I do see a lot of familiar faces that we have worked together with on deals. But if we haven't, I'd like to introduce, again, our team. We're Fluent Mortgage. We're a correspondent lender. We have branches locally here in Melbourne, and we're also national. We love closing easy deals, but what we specialize in are the non-traditional tough deals. We love puzzles. We love putting them together, and we love solving them. Quick example, recently we just closed a $3.6 million deal purchase with bank statements, no income, no pay stubs, just bank statements. We also just recently closed a non-warrantable condo that we use just rental income to qualify. That was short-term rental. So as I said, we love the tough deals, and that's what we specialize in. So our team is here, and if we haven't had a chance to meet, I'd love to see you today. Thank you, guys.
All right. That's everybody. Let's give a giant round of applause to all the sponsors. Oh, we got one more. Chance, go ahead, man.
Sorry, Chance. I said I was last. My bad.
Yeah, he threw me off.
How's it going, everybody? It's Chance Kelly with Miracle Movers of Florida. We do local long-distance moving. We offer packing and storage services. Honestly, if it can be moved, we move it. My big niche with my agents is all of your referrals get a 10% discount, and we offer free temporary storage in between closing dates. So if you ever have those pesky clients that have to move out on the 12th, but we're not going to secure a destination until the 27th, I'll take them, hold them free of charge, and make sure you can get your closings dealt with.
Love it. All right. That's everybody, right? All right, let's get this thing started. Y'all ready to learn something? One of you? All right, that was it, guys. Thanks for coming out today. My job is done. No, I'm kidding. All right. Yeah. I probably need their bios and whatnot. That probably would help. All right, let's kick this off. Let's start with Bobby. Bobby Freeman is a waterfront and condo specialist. He's with the McCoy Freeman Group at Compass. They're now affiliated with the Carpenter Kessel team. He's got an extensive marketing background and degree from the Ringling College of Art and Design. He has over 20 years of experience, more than 1,500 properties closed, and over $520 million in sales. Over $12 million closed so far this year already. How many of y'all have sold $12 million already? How many of you guys wish you had sold $12 million already? Make some noise. That's probably a better way of asking, right? So we're going to jump. Let's give it up for Bobby Freeman, McCoy Freeman Group. All right. Next is Barbara. She's a native Floridian, resident of Brevard County for 25 plus years. After obtaining a degree from Florida State University, she traveled extensively. She lived in resort communities of Colorado and Hawaii, which is probably that's pretty cool. So anyway, but she loves Brevard County. I lost where I was with it. But long story short, she opened her brokerage in 2014. She realized the limitations of running a traditional brokerage and a rapidly changing real estate platform and basically pivoted to running a small organization. After, I lost the rest of this, but she's sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, is consistently in the top 20 agents or so, probably even higher than that in all of Brevard County. She probably has some of the highest lifetime career sales out of everyone in Brevard County. Let's give a giant round of applause to the legend, Barbara Schluraff with Century 21 Ocean. All right, let's keep this going. So, Mieli has a master's degree from real estate development from Nova Southeastern University and an MBA in business management or business administration and management. She brings both educational excellence and a hands-on expertise to every client experience. She specializes in commercial and residential real estate. She's built a reputation as a multifaceted broker basically she sells all sorts of real estate and solves complex real estate problems. Mieli, I know that what we have for you is probably wrong. What did you sell last year, including commercial? $36 million sold last year. Give a giant round of applause to Mieli. Also in the top 25 agents consistently in the county. Jason Lande, as a full-time realtor and resident in Brevard County for over 30 years. I mean, that alone is pretty amazing. Give him a round of applause for that. He brings unmatched knowledge, and he supports all sorts of organizations. You guys probably all know him. He's one of the most active and involved agents, but now runs a team with his wife, Brenda, and they are now at Denovo, the Lande Group at Denovo Realty, Denovo agents in the house. What'd you guys sell last year, Jason? A little over 25, 26 million. This group at least all sold $20 million plus last year. So I know, I'm guessing that this group as a whole sold like 100-something million, 150 million if we added everyone's stuff together properly. But let's give a giant round of applause to all our panelists. All right, we're going to dive right in. Let's just start with this. How did you first get into real estate? How did you first get into real estate? What were you doing before? And what's your business look like today? Like, are you a team? Are you solo? Is there staff? Like, what's the structure? So we'll start on that side, Bobby, since you've been sitting the longest.
Got into business for real estate. I was in marketing, had an art background, graduated from Ringling School of Art and Design in Sarasota. Met my future now wife, Nikki. Her mom and her were at Boeing, and then they got into real estate and was really doing very, very well. And so I decided, well, let me just get my license and I don't want to be a realtor. I'll just get my license and help the family out. That led to open houses. That led to this, led to that. Clients calling and getting busy, and then we jumped the ship and got full time in it, and been doing it ever since. So we're very happy, and it's a family team. And today it's just me, and my wife, and our 2 golden doodles, and work morning till night, and have some fun in between, and try to enjoy the beach.
Love it. Another Cocoa Beach. Go ahead, Barbara.
Okay. Let's see. I started raising kids, got into lending before the market took off, and then got out of it before the peak, before it crashed in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Took a break for a few years. Anyway, fast forward, I got my teaching certificate and my real estate license within about 3 months of each other. And was weighing the options, put it on paper, and real estate ranked so much higher. Unfortunately, the teachers, didn't give a good credit to their profession. But I just took off running. A friend of mine told me to get into sales, and I loved it. After the first 2 weeks, so I called her and said, "Hey, you didn't tell me I was going to be a counselor."
Yeah, let's keep going, Mieli.
Hi, guys. How are you? Good morning. So I got in the business when I was 17 years old. I was a baby. It was right when the market was going up, up, up. I got to see the peak. I got to see the crash. I got to see who made it and who didn't. That led me to very early on see the differences between residential agents, commercial agents, and I truly became fascinated with the industry, and I wanted to learn anything and everything about it. So that's what got me started. And fast forward, I moved to Brevard County in 2011. I actually started my career in the west coast of Florida in Punta Gorda, if anybody knows where that is. I was 17. It was the number one place to retire, and I was just graduating high school, so you can only imagine that shock. But I feel like it 100% served me well in being able to master the craft and learn rejection very early on, because everyone was like, "You're a kid, you know nothing." And I was like, "But I do." So that's kind of what led me here. So it's been a fun journey.
Love it. Jason.
Good morning, everybody. Kind of ironically, my ex-wife's the one that got me into real estate indirectly years ago. But prior to that, I ran bars, nightclubs, restaurants as a general manager, some to remain nameless. But my last stint was with Hooters, and, did that for, a long time with Hooters as a GM. But main thing, I've always had a passion for real estate. I got tired of the long hours, early mornings to do inventory, counting bottles of liquor and weighing kegs of beer and everything else, and real estate was just my thing, and it's been literally a full-time thing. I don't do it part-time. I feel like it's 7 days a week, and my beautiful bride Brenda, my business partner, is 7 days a week. It is 7 days a week between the two of us, but we make it happen, and beyond blessed to be in the industry.
Love that. What's the biggest thing that you guys think you've done that's catapulted you to being a top producer? Like, what's been the difference maker from being licensed to selling consistently and then I'll also probably follow that up with asking what's been the biggest difference maker to doing it year in, year out, decade in, decade out, for those of you who've done it for a few. I'll start with you, Jason, though.
It's really, my motto is all gas, no brakes. You just got to push yourself to do it. I've been very blessed for the last 9 years consistently. The referral business, past client business, literally is 98% of my business every single year. And to have done over $200 million in sales over this stretch of my life has been a blessing. Again, I owe a lot to my wife, Brenda. She's perfecting us, molding us, putting us in a different direction as a team, especially with all the marketing stuff. And, but no, year after year, it's just being in touch with our clients. I do old fashioned newsletters. It actually goes out in the mail. We send out about 500 newsletters to past clients.
How often? Can you break us down? What's in it?
Snail mail.
What goes in your newsletter?
We have everything from local information, industry information. I do a word search. We do recipes that are sponsored by Pizza Gallery in 28 North monthly. And it's mainly just friendly reminders too, especially, when we file for homestead. So it's just that consistency. But I've been doing the newsletter ever since I started in real estate. So it goes out every single month, snail mail. And the responses we get are funny.
Who's on the list? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Clients, business partners. It's just amazing. Like right now, Brenda has our Mother's Day basket that we're giving away tomorrow. But we had well over 40 plus responses just from the newsletter. And, it's just amazing that people are engaged. And then we had one where we did the April Fool's newsletter where you couldn't find the words in the words. I couldn't tell you how many text messages I got. like literally, I had one of my clients we've done 5 or 6 deals together.
That's funny.
I cannot believe how pissed off. He said, yeah, he goes, I can't find these damn words. I go, April Fools.
Who puts these together?
Actually, I did it for many years. Then Elena, who's our marketing girl, she took over, and she's elevated it to a whole another level. So.
Can I ask you a couple more questions on it? Is that cool? What's it cost you guys a mail?
Babe, I'm going to defer to you.
And how many people is it going to?
About 500.
About 500. And what does your sponsor pay? If you can answer that.
So Chris Canino owns Pizza Gallery in 28 North. I let him post his recipes in there in exchange for gift cards that we pass out to clients and stuff like that.
Got it. Do you have any other businesses involved in it?
Nope. Not right now.
If you were an agent in this room and you liked this idea and you were going to start pitching businesses, how would you structure it?
I would actually get some more sponsors to help out. It's just, the financial burden, it's worth it. Again, year after year, the clients keep coming back. Again, to have a 98% referral business and past client business at the level that we're at is unbelievable.
I love that. Sorry to ask too many questions on it. I just figured I wouldn't let you skip over it. Mieli, let's talk about you.
I would say taking care of people. All of us in this room know someone that we've sold real estate to, and people do business with people they like and respect. And I think for me, I've always been willing to be a helping hand and be a resource to those people, whether selling them something or not. I always say I'm not in sales. I'm just a resource connector, matchmaker. And then working your sphere of influence, I think, with past clients, with vendors. I had a practice very, very early on, and I still do it to this day when I had no money. No matter who I spoke to, I don't care if it was a rental lead, I don't care if it was a vendor that just helped me answer a question, I would always send a thank you card. And until this day, I practice that. And I kid you not, it just repeats the business. So I think that that's one of the most important things. And then another big thing that I've implemented, I do a lot with not just residential, but with the commercial side of the world. So I learn a lot about investments, how people invest their money. So I thought to myself, if I'm the expert that's selling them their home, right? And their home is going to be that biggest investment for most people. I do an annual review of their property and I just send it to them personalized. It's not somebody else doing it. The busier I've gotten, the harder that has gotten. But I feel like it's that extra personal touch, and the clients definitely value it, that it's coming from me and not just someone else within the office. But my biggest takeaways for anyone in this room is you have a sphere of influence. You've already closed people. Make sure you're servicing your client and that they're hearing from you. And that's it.
What's your annual review process look like? What kind of communication do they get, and what are you actually going over?
So if anybody has a financial advisor, you'll get your annual review of how your investments are doing, and they'll do an annual sit down with you. Same dynamics. They get a card from me. It's your annual review on your property's value and how much equity you are expected to have in this property. And I always allow for them to either call me, text me, set up a time to meet with me free of any charge.
And that's mail?
Yes, that's mailed. And how I slot it, again, it's pretty organic. I have a stack on my desk, and if I have a few minutes in between something, I just pull up the property, do some research, and send it off to them.
And then are you following up with the people trying to proactively get a meeting with everyone, or are you just making sure they've all been mailed?
No, I just make sure they've all been mailed, and we've built such a good rapport with them that typically people would just text me and say, hey, what's going on? I want to do a improvement on my kitchen. Should I do this? Or, hey, I want to improve that. Should I do this? Or, hey, I'm thinking about getting into commercial real estate. Should I do that? So it just organically starts happening. Or typically I'll get a text message from, hey, my friend needs to sell a home, or my friend's stuck with a situation. And again, no matter what, I've talked to so many people that have had listings that were listed with someone else, and they just needed to pick my brain, and I didn't gain the business that day. But because I spoke to them, didn't sell them anything, they've come back and then they've worked with me and have been forever clients.
That's awesome. What other things do your clients get from you annually?
So I actually touch my database 4 times a year, and every quarter I make it a little bit different. Again, they have their annual review. That's just annually across the board. And every quarter they also get something from me, and I change it kind of whatever I'm in the spirit of at the moment. We sometimes brainstorm with the team. The most recent one that we did just a little succulent plant.
And I just literally sent him a market update of what was happening residential and what was happening commercial. Prior one to that, I had had a baby. The team in the office was growing. So I literally just sent, here's what's going on with my life. I would love to hear what's going on with yours. And it's just a conversational piece to keep relevance in mind, but also to let them learn that I'm actually a real human, real person with a family. And I always thank them for the business. I'm getting ready to do one this month, and I still haven't decided what I want to do, but typically it's more like a brainstorm with everyone within the office. Like, I'm thinking this. And then once a year, anybody who's closed with me for 2026, from January through December, if you've closed something with me, we do something very personal for that particular person. Last year we did 2 glasses of wine, and I do find out early on if somebody's a wine drinker or not a wine drinker. I think that's important. Or if they don't drink alcohol alone.
Where do you find that out of curiosity?
I ask the client just in
Do
conversation.
you have like okay, I was just curious. You had like an intake
When I'm
form or
onboarding
something.
my client and I'm putting them in my system, I'm always digging for these questions. But obviously, if they're not a drinker, they got a coffee mug instead. But it said, you're the real MVP. Because obviously, MVP sales group. And they loved it. And I got so many just like, oh my goodness, this is great. This is wonderful. But it gets hand delivered. And it's typically going to fall somewhere between Thanksgiving and right after New Year's Day. And people love that. They really do.
Love that. That's awesome. Barbara, what's been the biggest difference maker for you?
Well, great tips so far. Same with systematizing follow-ups with clients. So as much as possible, just have that as a system. We do quarterly postcards. We do monthly newsletters, client parties. We're trying to touch them as much as possible. Pop-bys, those take a lot of time. If you haven't coached with Buffini, I highly recommend it. I did that for a while. I've been in different coaching programs and learned a lot. I would say something really, when I first started, I would watch all the top producers and I thought, how did they get there? I mean, I was so impressed. So I just started listening to so many podcasts, YouTube videos, just over and over. I would take notes. I would and listen to it again if it was something really impressive. And one thing that stood out to me and I implemented was getting up early. I get up early. I get my head straight. For me, I read scripture, drink my coffee, exercise. I build in time to eat right. I can plan my food for the day because I'm just really into that. But you have to be so careful in this business. I really got myself kind of screwed up. For a while, I wasn't sleeping well, didn't feel good, and I went to a functional doctor. And she said, "Oh my God, your cortisol levels like off the chart." She said, "I can help you tweak a lot of things and optimize, but I can't fix your lifestyle." So that's when I started building a team because I just, you need help. And so to do all those things, all those systems, and whether it's a husband, wife, and a TC, that's a team. So that really was a game changer for me.
What's the first hire you think people should make if they don't have a team or don't have a partner or don't have a wife?
TC first, absolutely a great TC that's detail oriented. And then second, I would say an assistant.
And transaction coordinator for those who didn't follow.
Yeah, transaction coordinator.
By the way, we have a couple we recommend. If you go to spacecoastrealproducers.com, click on partners. I think I'm pretty sure that you just click on partners. They will have our current recommended TCs, and we can take your TCs if you got someone you recommend. We're totally open to adding TCs, but we do have ones, and they're come from other top agents on the stage. So just plugging that there. What else would you hiring?
What else?
Like if TC is the first, you'd be saying would be the first.
I would say the TCs first.
When does someone know they need more people, and how do they decide?
Gosh, when you're overwhelmed and busy, and the leads are coming in and you're not following up. If you really, Jason, that's really impressive figure, 98% SO, past client referral. That's huge, but you're doing the work to stay in touch with them. So if you're not staying in touch with them, and I've always wanted to do yearly reviews of their properties. I haven't been doing that. Yeah,
comes down like
yeah. So, but that's something I would like to do. So we need to implement.
What
that as a
do you do with your past clients though? Because I know you're pretty on top of it. 'Cause I think I'm on your mailing list.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're
Sweater. I love the snail mail though. That's great. When we do a quarterly postcard, it's oversized. We do client parties. I try to do at least 1 or 2 a year. We're trying to ramp that up a little bit, and do some that aren't more casual. Because I mean, I spend $10,000-$12,000 on a party, but they're fun, But that's expensive. Another thing we do is send out the previous year's closing statement. So if they closed with us previous year, just mark the calendar. Every January, we send out the closing statement. And it's just another touch. Hey, just thinking about you, and if you have any questions, market reports, try to systematize those, through your website.
Love that.
So.
Can you just real quickly break down what you do with regards to parties, or who's the other one? Postcards. What goes in your postcards?
Right now,
parties do you do?
Right now, we're doing an oversized postcard, just giving market stats for the county, make it pretty. We might put a review. We're trying to use more call to action. A coach that I recently coached with, I did a 6-month contract with her. She was awesome, by the way, if you ever want a referral. I like that she just wanted to do 6 months. She's like, you're going to have so much work to implement. I don't want to keep you for a year. So that she was awesome. But she said, I need more call to action on that. So we've been tweaking that. The client parties.
What's it say currently? Can I ask?
What is, it's a home valuation QR code. So that was another thing we did. We had a generic QR code that would link to our website. Now we're having unique QR codes for each item, whether it's a newsletter or a postcard, some kind of mailer, or
they have like a scan to get something. There's a
we know where the source of business is because we're made on tracking business. So obviously if you're you want to track your business. So the parties, honestly, I have not leaned into using bidders so much to help with the expense. I'm just part of it. So I'm control freak, maybe, I don't know, particular about the type of food. I want a good, great bartender, those kind of things. I really could lean into that.
Good music, great.
Yeah, I've had bands. We have a cool office downtown Cocoa Beach, so I've actually renovated it so we could have parties in the back parking lot. So the deck, we have put a band on the deck. And
how often are you doing a party?
The big one like that usually once a year, but we started doing smaller ones like we did. We participated in Sip and Stroll downtown Cocoa Beach. So if you're part of a municipality that does that, that was really nice. The first year I was out of town, but this year, so I didn't experience it, but this year I was there, and we made it really cool. We had candles, and we had some extra food in the office so that when clients came by, super casual, and they would sit.
And is just past clients that eat?
And so
was everybody just past clients, or are there?
We try to have clients, referrals, or any referral partner, vendors that we like to work with. We always try to invite those.
Yep, I remember I saw Chris Mill a ton about your party.
Yeah, that is.
All right, sweet. How many of you guys have learned something so far just from these breakdowns? Make some noise. Bobby, biggest game changer in your business?
Game changer. Geez, I did the internet, web. Chat now. But it really starts with customer service. Somebody's calling you for a service, and we have to take that customer and elevate our service, our market, our knowledge, and really give them what they want, and then some. Always put your game face on. Go in, I'm going to tackle this, and I'm going to get my 10%. Keep it what you think it's not going to turn out. It may turn out, like an example, I had a phone call last few years into the business. It was a late Sunday afternoon. They want to see a condo, and it was just down the street, leaking. I get ready to go enjoy Sunday night somewhere. I'll be right back. I was going to go show a Sandy house. One condo, be right back. Got there, and she said, well, here's a few other we want to see. Well, so thank you, so. Sir, so we showed them, and okay, great. And then Where you from? Was well, I'm leaving to go back to DC tomorrow. I've been here all week. Oh, you've been here all week. You're calling me now. It's Sunday afternoon. Great. Okay. One more condo. Here we go. Okay. Well, enjoy your trip. Well, hang on, Bobby. Don't you want to talk about an offer on this one? Oh, sure. Great. Okay. So I guess you never know. You might think it's going to turn the wrong way. It might turn out to be the best client. That client will end up being probably $5 million in sales referrals since then. So always have your game face on. Always go in to 110%. They're calling you for a service, giving that service on an elevated level.
Love that. But you come from such a strong marketing background. I got to ask you at least the marketing questions. Talk about the difference maker for you in marketing. What are the things that you think make the difference in having a great brand and selling a ton year in, year out, and keeping in touch with the clients and getting referrals and all those things? Talk about it from a marketing perspective.
It's definitely changed over the last 20-something years. I mean, remember way back when it was just, they call you on the sign, we were advertising quotes on hand. Maybe the Sunday newspaper, your marketing pitch was maybe 5 seconds. Now it's hours and hours of here's what we're going to do for you, and here's how we're going to do it. And back then it was very simple. Always change. And then what we're doing today is definitely going to be different tomorrow or next year. So I'm really excited to see what marketing is for the future, for sure. But just stay on top of that, giving your customers, especially your sellers, the exposure their property needs. Professional photos, tours. I remember when the virtual tour came out, and all of a sudden you could take a photo, take 4 photos, stitch them together. And all of a sudden now it showed a pan. Oh my gosh, that was the best thing ever back then. You could actually watch it go like this. Of course now it's elevated cinematic videos, voiceovers, everything is so elevated. And that's what you have to do for your sellers.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, keep it on an elevated level.
Let's hear about how you guys keep in touch with your past clients in Sphere. What are some of the things you guys do if you're out there?
Newsletters, mailouts, bumping into people. I could definitely elevate my talking to past clients a little better, but probably just newsletters and phone calls and sometimes how you doing? Let them talk. Because I always ask you, how's real estate? Are you busy? And yeah, I'm busy, but I'm never too busy for your referrals.
Understood.
Well, my coaches told me a long time ago.
Anything else you're doing to generate more referrals?
Mostly internet, videos, social media. I mean, that's where everybody's going. So and now pretty much somebody calls you up to hire you for a listing or for the most part, they know you. They know they've seen your videos. They've been watching you for months or years, then following you, reading your logs, looking at your market reports, look at your data and how you interpret it. That's what we're good at, is taking the data and telling the sellers and buyers what they need to hear and how they interpret.
Love that. All right, let's talk about lead generation. By the way, y'all learned something from them so far?
Yeah.
I know we stayed on that question for a while, so I got to at least break it up a little bit. Let's talk about lead gen strategy, because I know you guys didn't expect me to press on it for so long, but I figured we might as well break it all down. Lead generation, where did most of your leads come from? And give me a little bit of breakdown about what you've learned to make that area in the business so effective. I'll start with you, Jason, since you've been like in the longest.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. We don't buy into Zillow stuff. Realtor.com. We don't do any of that. And I give it all to God, because to have a 98% referral business year in, year out for the last 9 years has been a blessing. That's just being in contact. I mean, a lot of my friends, one very good friend of mine who's been a client 11 times over, my buddy Hector, we do a happy hour every Friday. Every one of those guys around the table bought and sold with me at some point. It's been a blessing.
It's a group happy hour, or it's like just a few of you?
No, there's probably anywhere from 5 to 10 of us.
Understood.
And
this is not the same event.
It all switches up.
You guys are unfollowed.
But again, for me personally, it's just been staying in touch with clients, have a cup of coffee with them, go play golf with them, go out for lunch, breakfast. That's my lead generation. I mean, I don't buy into any type of system. My system is me.
I love that. The other day at our Masterclass in Orlando, they were talking about an agent, and all she does is set up shop every single, I don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day of the week, she sets up at Starbucks for like 4 hours, and she buys coffee for whoever comes by. And she like sets up with her laptop and does work, but she does also like takes kind of meetings like the type of meeting that Mieli's talking about, like review or CMAs or whatever. But I thought that was pretty cool. But the lady sells like, I don't know, $40 or $50 million a year just crushing that system. So it kind of reminds me of what you're talking about.
And I mean, it's not free, but I'm sure she started doing that before and it was even free. Like, start with 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Or getting I know they do that Starbucks thing now where you can like send a QR code to people and you get charged if they use it kind of thing. And so it's a good reason to reach out to people or to put in your email or to put on here or to let people reach out to you or to post about. I mean, there's 100 ways to give it out. And I've seen agents do it. And God knows how many ways for, the cup of coffee if they use it or the price of it off if they use it. All right, Mieli, you mind?
Sure. So I think probably everyone who's in the room wants to know, well, what do you do for lead generation when you got the money, right? Because let's be honest, that's what you're going to learn. So I think for me, early on in the business, I went to the old school way of farming. I picked an area and I stuck to the area and it works, guys. So you don't see it right away, but I feel like consistency in your action is going to breed consistency in your return. And while it did not happen necessarily within that quadrant that I was so heavily sending a card to, like, I'll meet with you, I'll meet with you, I'll meet with you, I genuinely believe that it all lines up and it actually comes full circle back to you. So I think consistency in the action when you have no money, in picking an area, sticking to it, learn every single thing about that area. It doesn't have to be this broad scope market. Walk in your office and say, all right, this little square is mine. I'm going to go earn and own that little square. And if I could do that.
How big of a square?
Huh?
How big of a square?
It really depends on what your goal is. But even as simple as door knocking, right? Like I remember when I had to door knock, when I started commercial real estate, there's this thing called canvassing. And what you do is you find different businesses and you have to get through the gatekeepers to have somebody actually talk to you. And you know what? Make friends everywhere you go. So at first they were like, who are you? I don't want to talk to you. But hey, how are you? I'm just here. Hi. And I think if you can get past that, I would say comfort or discomfort, it really comes full circle. So that was on the commercial side. I door knocked a lot and I got a lot of no's. I didn't care. I still showed up. You want to tell me no? Whatever. The next person will tell me yes. That you have to walk in with that mindset for lead gen. And again, back to the residential side, if you don't have any money, pick a square, whatever big square you want, pick a zip code, be consistent, whoever it is that you're touching. In terms of lead gen today, I definitely still practice the good old system of farming. There's specific people that I want to be talking to that is not just on the residential side, but also on the commercial side. So I've created my list of who are those people, what's their demographic, what's their income stream, and I touch them every month. Every month they get something from me. Will I meet them? I don't know. But I can tell you, I had somebody stop me at the gym the other day and they're like, you're the market cycle girl. It's working. So again, it costs me money because I'm having to put it together. It's a mailer. It's probably have 500 people in that mailer. That's a new lead gen, right? Like not people that are not my contacts, and it's consistent every month. So there's an investment on that side, but I pick something and I stick to it for the whole entire year. And then based on that, I gauge back, did I have an actual ROI on it? If I didn't, go back to the drawing board. But there's a lot of people that quit too early on. Like you do something, but then you stop doing it. And then my biggest lead gen definitely is from touching back to my past clients consistently. I would say, I don't know that I've tracked my actual referral basis like you have, but I can think of 5 different clients that have sent me a ton of business just from being consistent with following up with them.
So if I'm an agent in this room, how would I pick? Like, what would you recommend what criteria should they look at when they're picking that area to farm and send stuff to?
I think that people really need to be specific of who they want to work with. I think so many people just kind of want to be a top agent, but you're not defining who you want to work with. So I would first define who is my client, who is it that I want to work with, and then I would decide that. So if I want to be a waterfront condo agent, again, I don't sell a ton of waterfront condos, but that's a great way to think of this. If I want to be a waterfront condo agent in Indy Atlantic, where my office is, I would probably pick 3 buildings, learn everything about those 3 buildings, and start sending a market update to every single unit, handwritten. It doesn't cost you a thing. It only costs you postage and the little paper that you're writing. And I would touch base with them every single month. Here's what's happening. Here's what's sold. Here's what the market's doing. Here's the issues with insurance. Here's
That's the hype. And then I'll do the same thing on social platforms, right? It costs a lot of money to boost stuff, but if you now became an expert on those 3 buildings, and all you're talking about is those 3 buildings, I guarantee you someone else will call you on a building in Satellite Beach because they think you're the waterfront expert. That's what I would be doing. So, and it doesn't cost a ton of money except for postage and you be dedicated and committed to doing it.
I would say just start with your own subdivision. I mean, be the king and queen of your subdivision. I know Brenda, she recently launched a quarterly newsletter that goes out to 6 Mile Creek, where we live, in Crane Creek, and then 2 other subdivisions. But, I mean, master your own community. Be the go-to for your neighbor.
Love that. Love that. Barbara? Let's start with you, Lee Jen.
So past clients, definitely the highest. But we do purchase Google leads, kind of a mix of SEO work, which I have an SEO company we work with for that, and pay-per-click and just organic Google leads. But that's all changing with AI. So we've been studying that a lot and tweaking things and starting to get it found. You know, someone call. I have an appointment today. Hey, we found you on chat. They said we're supposed to call you. So I was like, cool. You know, so that's a win. But that's all changing. We are trying to lean more into our past clients, and just really make sure we're nurturing those because honestly, I've dropped the ball many, many times. I should be leaning into more of my database more than I do sometimes. So just the coach I told you, she just ripped our systems apart, which we needed. But it's been a ton of work behind the scenes to get reorganized. So we're finally at that point. I think today we're even launching a new website that we've been working on for months and months and months. So a lot of things like that.
Do you farm any specific areas?
I mean, Cocoa Beach is where our office is. So I'd say we do lean into that pretty heavily. There's a monthly magazine that goes out to every door in Cocoa Beach, and we're on the back cover of that. And that's not inexpensive. You know, the online leads some of them are fun. So I like that. I like when people find you just because you popped up in their feed or their search, and we met some cool clients that way too. So, but things are changing, and you have to just be ready to pivot and reinvent yourself and fail forward, make a lot of mistakes with marketing, but be ready to rip the Band-Aid off, whether it's a system, software, or marketing that's not working. Just be ready to take the risk, and that could be costly, but it'll pay off in the end.
I love that. You want to keep going, Bobby?
Yeah, I would say about farming your area and condos. We had an opportunity. We sold all our condos pre-construction 20-something years ago. The market went up and it crashed 06, 07, 08. And it was like, okay, there's no money coming in. What do you do? I had some website background. I started building internal pages. CocoBeachCondoGallery.com/Meridian Condos for Sale, Artesia, and just really SEO in it, meta tags, all the nerdy data stuff that you would put in something like that to be visible online. And then we started getting calls. Hey, I was looking for an Artesia condo, and you popped up. Now it just morphed into where it got so big. Hey, I'm locked out of my condo. Can you let me in? Oh, I'm not the HOA. Or looking for a rental. I don't do rental, I do sales. So I had that visibility online where those keywords are coming up. It's really important. And that just, and we're launching a new website too. So keep the websites going, keep the visibility, keep the blogging going, keep the data, keep the content fresh. Google likes that. AI is loving that now.
In this day of AI and vibe coding and writing, and so how are you using, or how could agents be using, or how should agents be using all these tools at their disposal to ramp up their content?
Just keep content going. Keep it going, because AI and Google will recognize it as fresh content. It's once a week, once a month, at least once a week, if not more.
And that's blogging, or that's like, what's that actually look like?
Everything. It's market reports, it's blogging, it's talking about a new restaurant just opened.
These are going on your website?
Surf contests, anything going on in your area. I'm in Cocoa Beach, so we promote that a lot. Rocket launches. Every time there's a rocket launch, I'll film it, put it on YouTube, and I'll get thousands of views just like that. Even cruise ships coming in and out. People like that. We have to sell, especially on the Space Coast, we have to sell our lifestyle, because we deal with a lot of, I know Barbara and I, we deal with a lot of people from out of town. They're looking at other areas in the United States and in Florida. So our job is not only to sell a 2-bedroom condo, it's to sell this lifestyle. Because definitely rocket launches, cruise ships, beach, surfing, it's the way of our life here. So
water, yeah.
Try to promote as best as we can.
I didn't put this on the list, so I might surprise you guys, but I'm going to stick with this one unless you don't do it. So I may throw you a curveball. Let's talk about when you have a listing. Like we're talking about marketing and follow-up and sphere and farming. What are you guys doing when you have a listing to maximize it, to market it well, and to get other referrals or clients in or around that area if you're doing things like knocking neighbors or circle farming or anything like that? I'll stay with you, Bobby, and we'll come back down this way.
When you get a listing, I mean, that's your golden ticket. One piece of advice I'd say, and I learned from being on the CK team and Dwayne and Kurt, is show up, be there early. Don't be rush into a listing appointment. You're trying to go through traffic, not run over the tourists on your way there and all that. Just arrive early. If you arrive early, drive around the neighborhood, or walk around the condo complex. See, get to know there, breathe, walk in, be prepared. Start, have everything ready that night before. Listing agreement, all your paperwork all printed out, and have it kind of lined up where you know where you're going to start and where you're going to end. Have lots of data in there. Okay, so you might have an engineer that wants to go over lots of data points. Have all that there. You can't memorize everything, but really try to be prepared for a listing.
What do you work? Look, I mean, you sort of broke it down, but if you could bring it down more. Let's say you got a big listing appointment tomorrow. What are you looking at tonight or today? How are you preparing?
What type of buyer is it going to be? Is it an investor that wants to buy a condo? Is it a first-time home buyer? I'm really looking at the comps, the comparables, the data, condos, definitely reserves, studies, everything else like that. And what my marketing is going to entail. How am I going to reach that buyer? What's my marketing plan? How am I going to stand out between all the other agents?
Love that. Super cool. All right, Barbara, do you want to stay on the
listing?
Yeah, marketing for when you have listings.
Once we take the listing,
exactly.
The marketing, obviously social media. So we have someone on our team that will post the YouTube video, do the Facebook marketing, make sure everything looks perfect for Google to pick up all, the SEO. We put the narrative in chat or one of the AI systems to optimize the SEO for that narrative. I did hear recently that someone's changing their narrative every week. I was like, oh my God, who has time for that? But that's an idea. It probably would help, right? And the way we write narratives, I think, is changing. I'm still studying that, so I don't have the answer on that.
I can tell you something I learned from Ken Posick last month. He gets like 12 million views a month on his social. You can follow him. He sold, I think, $200 million so far this year already. And what he said to me was that most people make the mistake of like, oh, here's my listing and here's the address in every single video. Instead, they tell the story like it's a headline about the house. So they'll say thing like modern, I don't know how to say it, but like modern home 3 blocks from Hotel Mel, downtown EGAD or whatever. But it's like the video is about the thing, not about I have a listing now. And most people don't mean to make it that way, but they don't realize that everything they're doing is, I have a listing at this address. This address is this. Instead, they make a headline that's about the thing that people will like about the home, and they put that in the header of everything they do. I just figured I'd share that nugget.
No, that's great. And we've been talking about doing that. We have not done that. I'd say you guys are doing really great with your social media videos. I don't love that, so I need to be pushed to do that more. I think it would help. I do think sellers love it. As much as I don't like it, I don't feel like they hired me to be an actor. So I don't, that's the frustrating part. But we're trying to think of some creative ways so that I or another agent doesn't have to be on camera.
Do you do anything to market to the people around a listing that you have, either in general or maybe open house related?
Always open houses, tons of open houses. That's a great way that was my bread and butter. I didn't have anything else when I started. I was with a little boutique, great friends, but small brokerage, and that's, we didn't know much. It was so different then, I should say, don't know much. But so I just did a ton of open houses, and I like working that connection with when I meet someone that's like-minded. So I try not to work with anyone I don't like anymore. I'm serious. So yeah,
I love that. I would give you a round of applause for that. Since we're touching on open houses, Barbara, anything that any unconventional wisdom or anything you've learned that makes an open house more efficient than some agents in this room might be doing? Anything that you've kind of tweaked over the years that you didn't used to know?
I don't hover. I still do open houses occasionally. I try not to hover. I just try to provide a lot of value. Just try to drop nuggets, like walk up and say something about the property. You might even point out something negative. Luis on our team is great at that. He, will tell them the pros and cons because they don't want to hear, the salesperson just tell them all the pros. But I give them space. And then yesterday I heard the broker that I merged our company with, he has over 400 agents, or one of the largest Century 21s in the country, the world, whatever. But he said, don't ask them if they have an agent, because half of them are going to lie and say they do because they don't want you, bombarding them. So don't even ask them. Just provide value. Try to get their information, and you might strike up a conversation. And that happened to me when I used to do a lot of open houses. That happened to me so many times. People would say, or they'd say, I'm working with an agent. I don't really think they know what they're doing. Would you work with us? So just be the knowledgeable person with finances, with complex, like you said, reserves. That's so complicated now. You have to look at engineering reports and the milestone engineering reports, the Sears, the reserve studies. So it's a lot more complicated, I think, in that respect. You need to understand and read tons of articles so you're up to date. Like August, I don't know if you know that I think they're going to 15% of the HOA needs to go into the reserve budget. So things like that, if you're helping a buyer, they need to know that proactively. So
love that. Mieli, talk about what you do to get more listings or to keep the listings and get referrals from them.
In terms of listings, I think it's really important when you're marketing it to get to know what your client think it's amazing about that property. I think I share the same opinion. I didn't sign up to be someone's actor. With that being said, I do think they give you a lot of information that you can use to market the property, and also with what Aaron just said about highlighting what those things are within the listing. I just did a YouTube video on a listing, and it was more like what $375,000 gets you in Palm Bay, and I highlighted what I really liked about that home. It was a voiceover. I was not in the video. It got 1,000 views. I didn't do anything. And I have a very small channel at the moment. So I thought that was really powerful. What I'm doing today, definitely professional photos, definitely professional video work, and being the voice that is educating the buyer on the other side. And I do a lot through social media in terms of videos, in terms of, again, now I'm starting to see my face, but it's more like, here's what the property is, here's what you're buying, educating, not so much about, hey, look at me. I think that makes a world of a difference. And your seller's really going to find value in you educating them about what is happening in their area as well. And then being that voice when you're getting it out and about. And as far as whether or not I market to get more listings in that area, I think it really depends on who it is and what it is. I think that sometimes agents try to put everything in the same category, and not everything requires the same category or attention. If you don't want listings in a particular area, do you really want to spend the money, the energy in going and sending cards? That's not how I do it. I kind of look at, does it fit the people that I want to be working with? I'm going to service that client and that seller that I have to the utmost capacity. But does that mean I need to spend extra money to send cards to see if a neighbor's selling? I personally don't think so, because half of the times, if you actually analyze what you sold and who you sold it to, most of the times for me, it's never come from that same neighborhood. So pay attention to that.
Love that. Jason?
Well, they kind of said everything, so not much to say, but I would...
Oh, actually, really quick before you do this, you said something I wanted to plug really fast. You mentioned the voiceover video. Two things I want to plug. One is Pink Flamingo Studios has a video that has a studio. They have green screen. They can help you shoot really cool voiceovers. Also, where's Barb Stewart? Barb, raise your hand really high. If you see Barb with her hand up, you want to learn how to make really cool AI videos, you should probably chat with Barb after. It's not what she does for a living, but it's what she's really good at. And if you're trying to find ways to make AI to make cool videos that catch attention, she could probably help with that as well. I just figured I'd plug that. Sorry. All right, Jason. Marketing.
Again, they pretty much acknowledged everything that we do. I think one of the main things is being brutally honest sometimes with your client on the listing side, because they think they got the Taj Mahal, and sometimes they need the hard truth that, hey, you don't have it. But about the narratives, and because of my broker, Garrett, he's making me more technology So I've been running a lot of the narratives through AI, Claude. And if you rewrite the narrative and you repost it every 2 weeks, I'm learning that it pops back up on their search. So if the home is stale, rewrite the narrative. Next thing you know, that thing's popping up on those people's searches. If they're searching for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, Palm Bay, no HOA, it pops right back up.
That's really good to know.
Love that. Bobby's taking note, apparently, right? All right. How many of you guys learned something from these panelists so far? Raise your hand if you can join us in August. Yeah? All right. Dave, you got that on video, so we're going to... I'm kidding. I still have one more question for all the panelists, but I just want to make sure that we give a giant round of applause first before we ask the last question, maybe even two if they answer it quickly. But I want to give a round of applause to Dave Stewart and his crew at DStewartProductions, who's doing all the video. If you missed any of this or you want to watch it again, it's coming from 4 cameras, edited on the fly. It goes on our YouTube channel, Space Coast Real Producers. And then let's also give it up for Hotel Melby for having us here. I appreciate them and all the sponsors. So what I want to ask you guys is if you had to rebuild your business from scratch, like in a brand new city, like you had to move across the country and build from scratch and you didn't have any of the connections you had, you didn't have anything, where would you start? What would you do? And break it down for me. I'll let whoever wants to start that one go first.
Community involvement.
Yeah, what would that look like?
Well, for me personally, if I had to go somewhere new and start all over again, I'd be hitting the chambers, any type of local government stuff. Just, you got to know the city. You know, I've been blessed to be in Brevard County now 34, going on 35 years since I was 19. And I think I know too much sometimes about our county, but I am involved with different committees on the Board of Realtors, professional standards, government affairs, what's the other one I'm on? Professional Education Committee. Plus, I'm also involved with the Habitat for Humanity. I'm one of the chair people for that. So it's just a lot. You got to get involved, be involved. People get to know you quickly, and I think that would be the best way to restart.
Love that. Love that.
So I did it. I knew nobody when I moved here in 2011. And what I did then, I joined the Chamber of Commerce.
Out of curiosity, I got to ask, how much have you sold since? About?
I don't know.
Do you have a guess?
Andy?
Andy just walked out, sorry.
Take a guess. Over 200 million, if I had to take a guess.
200 million, yeah. Sorry,
Over 200, yeah. I joined the Chamber of Commerce, and I started working with local business owners that really are literally the bread and butter of our community, right? And any community I think that you go to, that's the bread and butter. I jumped around a bunch of different leads groups just to see who I was the best fit for. And I met a great CPA there. I met a great home inspector there. And we just started seeing how we could help each other. And then from there, definitely community involvement. For me, I went to what do I love to do? And I love the gym. And I would just wear a real estate shirt. Ask me about real estate. I know it sounds crazy, but I wouldn't talk to people in the gym about real estate, but that led me to some of my biggest clients today. So if I had to start over again, I would do that. With the world of AI and YouTube, I would probably take it a notch above. Obviously, I have the real estate knowledge in terms of negotiations, pricing. That doesn't change regardless of what area you go to. The numbers change. The process doesn't. I would highlight what I do know, but I would say learn this area with me, and I think you would get a huge traction. Like, I'm trying this new restaurant, or I'm trying this nail salon, and highlight those businesses and give yourself an opportunity to get people to engage. Like, oh, you need to go try this. That's probably what I would do.
Love that. That's awesome. Barbara.
Well, I'm a big fan of teams, so I would say jump on a team. I would research a high-performing, whatever you're, like for me, I would want to try to sell luxury. So I would get on that team. You'd have nice listings for open houses, and then you sprinkle in all the other things that you want to do. Definitely any nonprofits that you're passionate about. Get involved in those. They need your help anyway. So, I'd get on a team.
Yeah, I'm with Barbara. Nikki and I, we have very deep local roots here for generations. So for us to go somewhere else, I think that'd be the first thing I'd do is try to connect with a team leader, a good broker that can help us with that area, get to know the community, volunteer, stuff like that.
All right, I'm going to do two more then. let's talk about work-life balance. Biggest things that you've learned, or mistakes you've made, or misnomers, or tips or tricks, any of the above. But give me something about work-life balance, because that's always a challenge in the industry. I'll start with you, Bobby. Sorry to put you on the spot and then keep it with you, but anything you would share
outside of real estate.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a 24/7 job. It's whatever you want to put into is what you're going to get out of it. And I can't tell how many times I've had the sunscreen on, surfboard in my hand, getting ready to go out, the phone rings, and somebody at my listing wants to see it. Okay, be right there. You go to the beach? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You surf? Yeah, surf. Well, how come you're not out surfing? Because I'm showing you this house. So you really just need to kind of balance that. Take time, relax, get some exercise, hang out with the dogs, the wife, go shopping, do what you can. But real estate's always going to be there. You're always going to get a phone call at dinner time or something. Again, we're in a customer service business. They're calling us because they need something. We deliver, make them happy. They're going to refer people to us. And so it's a hard balance, but it's just something you just try to do.
Amen. Barbara?
Same. It is hard. It's a grind. I'd say when you get a great assistant and they're trained, you can really leverage that. So my daughter got licensed and she's helping me now. Last weekend, I realized, oh my God, we're both working. We're both on 24/7. And at Monday, I said, why do we do that? So sometimes you get in that habit and then you have to break the cycle. But once they're trained up, then you say, hey, I'm going to take this weekend. I'm available if you need me, but I'm going out of town, or I have company I want to check out. Sunday, I will say Sundays, I definitely check my phone, but I don't set any appointments. I just say I'm not available. It's just not even an option anymore because I just need it. I say I need time with my family, church, whatever you do. So I think it's really important, I've made mistakes there. So you really have to work on it and constantly remind yourself.
Love that. Mieli?
So work-life balance, I do think it's a little overrated. If we're in this business, we're here to kind of hustle and grind like everyone is saying. With that being said, there's also different seasons of life. And I think we need to be honest with what those seasons are and set the right expectations. For me, before I had kids, it was like, go. I'm here to own this thing. And today I'm still here to own this thing, but with the right expectations and boundaries. And pretty much everyone that works with me knows, hey, if you call me till like 6 o'clock, I can talk to you. But then when I get home from 6 to 8, don't call me, don't bother me. If you do, there's somebody that will be answering the phone and it's not me. But setting that right expectation up front, if not, I think you can get burned out in this business very quickly, and that's not good. And I've also learned if you can't respect the boundary I'm setting, then I don't want to work with you, and goodbye, see you later. So I think that's really important for everyone to set, even if you're just starting out or even if you're trying to chase the next sale. It's important to set that, because if you don't set it now, when you do get busier, then you don't know how to stop, and that's bad.
That's awesome. Jason?
I'm the worst at work-life balance. I am the absolute worst. But, again, I still can fit in my Bible study on Wednesdays and Friday mornings. I can still squeeze in golf with my leagues and stuff, but you don't want to learn from me about.
That's why you married a realtor. It makes it makes it easy.
It does. But one thing you mentioned, boundaries. My wife Brenda is awesome at boundaries, and she's slowly teaching me to make boundaries with clients and stuff. But again, my clients love the fact that I respond quickly because that phone's in my hand 24/7, and even if it's something simple question, simple text message back. But like this past Saturday, golf, then had to go show 7 homes. It's, again, trying to find the balance is tough. But I agree with what everyone has said. What you put into it is what you get back. So for me, again, my motto in my head is all gas, no brakes. So I live and die by it.
I add one thing to this. Sure. If you're slow and you need business, take a vacation, because your phone will ring. Trust me, it will ring.
I've had 3 contracts together on my vacation 2 weeks ago.
Love that. How many of you guys want to hang out and grab lunch with? How many of you guys have the time to grab some lunch with us right after? Raise your hands. Real high. Come on, stick around. I know. And by the way, I want to give a round of applause to everyone in the room and the panelists, because And I have one more question for them, so we're not done. But I see a bunch of legends around the room and on the stage, and you guys just coming out, being here, being a part of this. There's 6,000 agents in Brevard County, and we got, 4 of the top 50 here on the stage to teach for free. And there's how many of you guys here? Probably about 100 or less. So I want to commend you guys that came out. I also see some of the people who have been on our covers. We got Tom, we got Eugene, we got Andy back there. So I know we got a whole bunch of PJs got a cover coming up. So I know there's also a bunch of badasses in the room. So make sure you meet everybody, connect with them, hang around after if you can. Give the panelists a round of applause. And I'm going to ask them one last question since we got like 5 minutes. I want to know what you're most focused on right now to ensure that you have a good last 6-7 months of the year. So what are you doing right now to make sure that you finish 2026 well? What are some of the things you're focused on, doubling down on, working on now, preparing for, any of the above? I'll jump to that side and let Bobby answer that one.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
Good question. Just again, customer service, going down the list of everybody, make sure everybody is taken care of, follow up. Tell somebody you're going to do something, follow up with it. And just prospecting, keeping the website going, blogging, videos. Yes.
So right now you're kind of doing spring cleaning on the website essentially and revamping your stuff.
Yeah, that took a couple months to build a new site, but just you have to keep your business moving. Sometimes we get so busy, we get locked into the transaction and not, let's keep everything else moving in the right direction. That's what you have to keep going.
Love that. Barbara?
Focused on lead follow-up with past clients and the warm leads. So Buffini coaching is big on ranking your leads. If you haven't done that, your A's, your A pluses, those are repeat referral, B's, C's. So, sometimes we forget to lean into the ones that refer the most. So just having a really great CRM contact management system that you're using.
Love that.
Processes. I think that I'm just tightening up my process and taking out what doesn't work and what is working very well, and having intentional meetings with the people that can help my business propel in the right direction. So I've been really narrowing it down. Who is it that I want to be talking to that I've never spoken to, and making it a point to meet with those people.
Love that.
For me, it's just, staying in touch with the past clients. We're revamping our marketing with the marketing team at Denovo. We're just trying to go for that cleaner, sexier look on our marketing with buyer guides, seller guides, updating our website as well. But for me personally, I'm going to push myself to do more videos this year, the rest of the year. I got to push myself. So
we got to see you on camera more, man. Love that. Give a giant round of applause to all the panelists today. And make sure you come back and make sure you stick around after, but come back and join us on August 5th. We're going to be hearing from Anthony Romero, Alyssa Boyd, Stephanie Dandridge, and Scott Loveridge. They are also a bunch of badass agents. And definitely stick around. Thank you guys for coming out. Meet all the sponsors. Hang out with us after. Post some pictures. Hashtag Masterclass321. And I'll pick a few people that actually use that hashtag and give you some free stuff later. So thanks, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Oh, real quick, speakers. Brian needs a photo. So let's just come together real quick.